Aerosexuals, I thought that once a cheat, always a cheat, right? All my felonies out there, all my brothers that commit felonies, don't you like a second chance in life? Now, I'm just saying this, man. Like, no one wants to have a permanent stamp, right? When you change, you want the world to know that you changed. You want to show the world you changed, right? All right. So what I'm trying to say is, if you believe that this man was giving Crawford PEDs, right? Performance enhancing drugs and blah, 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 and all this shit, why would you take the excuse of a man to fit in your narrative to say this is the reason why Errol Spence wasn't Errol Spence in the ring when he fought Crawford? Which one is it, man, Aerosexuals, man? Because now you're trying to get explanations from a man that you'll be convicting him when he had turned his life around, right? Guess what? Even Captain Full did it at a time. I used to make videos of Victor Conte because he was getting on Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. And I say, if you ain't got no proof, then Puff, be gone and stop bringing up Manny Pacquiao's name. So I made videos about him and Balco and shit like that. But the man reinvented himself. The man is on this side now. He was bad on this side. And he was doing a good job doing bad shit. But guess what? You could flip it and do what you got to do on this side now and still make a living, right? And society gave him a second chance. Vada, WADA, all the ABC, all of them gave him a second chance, right? So at the end of the day, I still not making no sense of this with the aerosexual fans. I'm looking at channels talking about this is the reason why his energy was zapped, because he went up the hill to fetch a pail of water and shit. Listen, man. You know, people don't like reasoning. They like fluff talk, man. Okay? And I look at these channels and they just regurgitating, but not even really, they can't even regurgitate what Victor Conte is trying to explain to them. They talking about zapping energy and so-and-so. Listen, sea level, it's about 20.9, 20.6 or whatever. You running up a hill, right? And you're not getting acclimated to the air and the altitude. You know, you have to get acclimated. If you're just going to run zip up there and you going and it's like in an airplane, right? Or you going from going all the way up the air up the hill and your ears pop, or you get air sickness and stuff like that. Everybody's different. Everybody's different, right? So he's saying there's a recovery stage, and that might have to prevent him from recovering on time, because I think it was on the 25th he ran up that mountain and then he fought on the 29th, right? So he could have had this sickness or whatever, or this drowsy after effect, because look, everything is recovery. Everything is recovery, right? It's tearing and building back and having recovery, right? So I'm just kind of tired of people saying once, and you know what I'm saying? I was supposed to do a part 6 with Marty, right? But in that interview with Marty, which was a good interview, right? His nephew or his cousin said something after Victor Conte finished, and he said, and I think Marty said, yo, what was your take on, he asked his cousin or his nephew, sorry if I can't remember, what was your take on Victor Conte? And he elaborated, and he's very articulate, and he's very smart. I think he could articulate way better than me, because I'm 50 right now, and sometimes my mind be racing all over the place, and I'll be trying to get things out, right? So I pronounce shit wrong, and I my mind is just all over the place and shit, and I'm just trying to get his shit out, right? And he was like, well, and he explained everything, right? He explained pretty good everything, but he said, it was a lot to take in, and my brain was hurting, right? And that's how I feel with a lot of people. They don't listen to reason. They don't listen to the science. They just listen to fluff talk. Now, this is fucking fluff talk now, right? Because we're talking about a man, Errol Spence fans and channels is pushing Victor Conte's explanation of why he lost, or what he think he lost. And Victor Conte is saying, I'm not taking anything away from Crawford, but in the sports science, that was dumb. You did not accolade yourself going up this hill. You just went up, zipped up there, came back down. Bad move. And I'm going to say that's a bad move. And there was a lot that Conte, he said that made a lot of sense when it comes of the human body, right? And he was talking about EPO and anabolic steroids. And like he said, it's very stupid that anybody take anything anabolic, okay? Anabolic steroids, you're going to get popped. And I'm asking you why. I want to ask you the question. We're gonna do some pro science over here, nigga. Yeah. Can you tell me why anabolics will be easily popped on a test? Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's derived from testosterone, right? Synthetic testosterone, right? So when I mean you could break down the molecule structure, that means you could change the molecule structure and make it another drug, like a steroid, right? And let me give you an example, because he did say something that's true, and I've been saying this on my channel about testosterone, synthetic testosterone, anabolic steroids, and hormones. And no one does, and when you start talking about these things, it goes in one ear and out the other. No one really wants to hear it. So when you hear somebody say, oh, they got popped, now in this day and age, you getting popped, and they can't make nothing new, right? No anabolic steroid, because they're all derived from testosterone. And where do synthetics, get it right, nigga, get synthetic testosterone? Where does synthetic testosterone come from? Okay, let's do this right here. I'm going to do this again. All my followers that follow me, my subscribers that follow what I've been saying, sorry, you're not a follower, you're a subscriber. But what you've been following, what I've been saying all this time, if you really was from day one with me all the way up, I'm going to show you these new subscribers that I know what I'm talking about, because I'm going to ask Google questions about hormones. Okay, so first one. How do they make synthetic testosterone?
According to your wellness center, when bioidentical testosterone is synthesized in a medical laboratory, it is often derived from plant sources, such as yams or soy. It is engineered to match the same exact chemical structure that is already being produced naturally by your body. This enables it to perfectly mimic the original source.
So what does that mean? Because at the end of the day, when you change the molecule structure, and then you make a steroid, it's very detectable. It's very easy to detect. Very easy. I don't care if it's D-ball, Tren, Anavol, T-ball, Halo, or whatever you want to call it. They're all derived from testosterone, synthetic testosterone. And how do they make synthetic testosterone? Well, from what this thing says, which is true, wild yams and soy or whatever they say about soy. Because, every man aromatized. In other words, we all have testosterone, right? Natural testosterone, not synthetic. And we convert our testosterone into estrogen. It's called aromatizing, right? So some people aromatize different than others. Maybe they stressed out. Maybe it's the environment. Maybe it's the food, right? It's a lot of things that can give you bitch tits and act like a bitch, right? So there's a lot of things that lead up to aromatizing your testosterone to estrogen, right? But like I said, and like Conte say, and he's giving you all the information, endogenous hormones is very hard to detect. And that's why they're going old school. They're going hormones like, let me see, insulin. Let me ask insulin. Now, I remember, right, that insulin, synthetic insulin came from pigs. All right, let me ask. Where do synthetic insulin was from?
According to DNA Learning Center.
No, that's not it. Was synthetic insulin made from pigs?
According to PubMed, the two human insulins of clinical importance are A. Semisynthetic human insulin prepared from pork pancreas by enzymatically substituting threonine for alanine, the last amino acid in the beta chain, thereby transforming pork insulin in vitro to human insulin, and B. Biosynthetic human insulin synthesized.
How do they make insulin now? Oh, sorry. How do they make synthetic insulin now?
According to nlm.nih.gov, recombinant DNA is a technology scientists developed that made it possible to insert a human gene into the genetic material of a common bacterium. This recombinant microorganism could now produce the protein encoded by the human gene.
Shut up, bitch. I know I'm hurting your brain, Errol-sexuals. I know I'm hurting your brain. But that's why it's so hard for HGH that's in your body. Right? It's bioidentical to testosterone. Insulin is the most anabolic hormone in your body. Everybody thinks it's just testosterone. No, insulin. And they used to get it from pigs. And they used to give it to humans that has diabetes. So now they make synthetic testosterone. It's bioidentical. That's why that shit is hard to be detectable. Right? So they go old school, right? So when I say, oh, insulin, man, it's so much, but a thyroid, it releases what? T3, right? So all these things, it's hard to detect, very hard to detect. So you have to have like the isotope test, the carbon isotope test. Do USADA have that? No. Do WADA have that? No. VADA has it, right? And that's the ratio between testosterone and epi. It's a 1-to-1 when they do the test, right? It could be a 50-50. It's still a 1-to-1 ratio. It could be a 25-to-25. It's still a 1-to-1. That's how it's read. But when you out of competition testing, and you don't know when you're going to get tested, and your 1-to-1 becomes 6-to-1, right? Or whatever. I think like I was trying to ask, like it was a question about at one time the athletic commissions in Nevada was 6-to-1. And I always say it's so funny how one fighter always fight in Nevada and nowhere else. And they had a 6-to-1 ratio from epi to testosterone to epi to testosterone. I was like, damn, 6-to-1, where everybody was 4-to-1. All the athletic commissions everywhere was 4-to, except this place. But guess who likes to fight in that place in Nevada and nowhere else, right? So, but now they change it because I asked that question to Victor on Coach Malachi, and he said no, everywhere's 4-to-1 now, right? But you got to understand the science. The science is and this is what I'm saying about Victor Conte. His science, like we all have different blood types, right? They take blood from you. They check your blood type. They check to see if you're deficient in certain vitamins, minerals, and whatever. And they say, here, we're going to give you this, and this is a certain milligrams or micrograms that you got to take, right? So that's one of the things of the sports science that Victor Conte do. High altitude, low altitude, recovery, right? Lactic acid buildup, right? And then when it's time to recover, you give a high concentration of what? Oxygen in both nostrils. All this shit is nothing new to me, right? But it's so hard to tell a dumb, dotish fucking fan, you know what I'm saying? But they only want to hear the fluff talk. And this is where y'all fuck up, because now y'all trying to take advice from Victor Conte. He don't know shit, right? I thought you say he didn't know shit. I thought he was yo, man. Y'all some real y'all some characters, man. Y'all some characters, Errol Spence fans and channels. And I'm sorry, not Errol Spence fans. Errol-sexuals and these channels. Now they're trying to find an excuse. Well, listen, the only way we're going to find out if this excuse was real or not is if he get his ass in the ring and fight at 154 And let's see what the dude going to happen. What's going to happen with the dude, right? That's all that matters right now. And stop holding the fight. I hope this shit don't happen in April. That's too damn long. But if it is, it is. If it is, it is. And it's so funny how people always saying, oh, you cheating life. You cheating life. Because, you know, testosterone is synthetic testosterone. And anybody that's smart, right? This is a new generation. All those fucking jagabats, I'm natural. I'm fucking natural. I'm natural. Oh, I'm natural. I'm natural till I die. Well, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot, yo. And what is the whole background with a human being is hormones. Young men get it going through puberty, right? Women get it going through menopause, right? Men get it going through menopause when they start to lose testosterone, right? So just like insulin, synthetic insulin that we got now, we don't get it from pigs, right? We know how to get it, and they advance the technology and know how to do it from the bacteria and re-advance and modify the situation. We don't have to get it from pigs anymore. But these scientific things make us live longer. So if I say you deficient with your testosterone levels, and I say, nigga, you need to be on TRT, and somebody say you cheating life, nigga, you cheating life. You cheating life. Well, how am I cheating life? I'm just listen, I'm lacking. And how are the signs that I know when I'm lacking? Shit. Well, one of the signs in some people, it's not just physical, it could be mental. It could be mental. And that means depression. And a lot of men, us men, we go through depression. We got to go through depression on our own. We don't tell other brothers how we deal with our wives, girlfriends, life, running 3 jobs. We got to do it, and we stand alone, bro. We don't complain and bitch like women do, right? We don't complain. Now, if you have a brother that you could go back and forth and speak reason, fine. But majority of men, we are one man army, brother. Brothers, we one man army. And we don't have time to be explaining our problems because this nigga got problems too. This nigga got problems too. So we don't bitch and moan and complain like women do. And then get advice like how women get bad advice from other women and then they have to make up their fucking mind because they can't make it up themselves. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. This is the fucking truth. As a man, I ain't got time to be telling another man my problems, man. Because I know that other man got problems. The fuck I got to talk about problems for? I got to figure out my own shit. So if you deficient in something, so let me explain something. All right. Have you ever took any hormones in your life? Any. You ever took vitamin C? Vitamin A? Vitamin D? Oh, you say take vitamin D? Oh, you take vitamin D. Oh, is vitamin D a hormone?
According to Columbia University Irving Medical Center, our bodies produce active vitamin D after exposure to sunlight, and we get some vitamin D from food. Vitamin D is also a hormone. Hormones help control how cells and organs function.
Okay, so listen, it's a hormone, but we know it as a vitamin. The sun, it put our rays. The sun rays hit our skin, right? It's like a precursor, right? There's certain precursors, just like you have precursors to help your testosterone boost up. You go to GNC, you go to these things. So when you hear Victor Conte say, yeah, we check the blood, we give every snack product, it's not one size fits all. It doesn't. It's not one size fits all. So if Devin Haney takes a blood test, we know what blood type he is. What are you deficient of? Okay, well, he's young, so he's not deficient of testosterone, you know. He's peaking, right? Crawford, about 35. Testosterone levels start to drop. So we're looking to see his levels in his hormones. So we're going to give him precursors that's legal to take. Y'all do it every day. Y'all take extend dick pills all the time. Oh, no, not me. I'm natural. I'm natural. But you fucking idiot. You fucking stupid idiot. If you take synthetic testosterone, you don't have to worry about the dick pills that you take when it's time to fuck. And then you get back pains and the fucking eyes are bloodshot red. You have to know this. This is a new generation, man. Fuck all them other old niggas. talking about, oh, I'm natural for the rest of my life. Yeah, you can stay natural for your rest of life, but your life won't expand where it's supposed to, right? It's called testosterone replacement therapy. Now, everybody, one size doesn't fit all, right? So someone at 60 might have no problems, right? Somebody 70 still could be active. And you see these 70-year-olds working out and all this stuff. And maybe it's because they know total testosterone and free testosterone. Just like I said, everybody aromatize the testosterone to the estrogen because of stress. It's the same thing with free and total. Total is like your bank, right? And how much you could get out of that to become free so you could be active and do things, right? And when I say you have indications when you know you low, well, one of them is depression. Now, it's up to you to say, well, you know what? I'm depressed. How the fuck I'm depressed? I got to go to the doctor. So the doctor, what do we know that the doctor do, right? Big Pharma, what do they do? They say, oh, you're depressed. We're going to give you this medication. Now, the side effects is your dick is not going to get hard. Oh, well, guess what? How the fuck you going to give me depression pills, right, for my mood, but my dick can't get hard? That ain't going to help my depression. My dick got to stay up, all right? That helps me lower my depression. What the fuck? So you get all these things to patch you up. Patch here, patch here. Take this pill. Take that pill for high blood pressure. Take this for cholesterol. Take this and that. And all the fucking while, if you do your homework, and when you get to that age and you start to see that, damn, man, I'm depressed. Because it's not just physical, it's mental. Man, I go in the gym, I'm not seeing any results no more. And that's why you go in the gym and you hear these fucking trainers say, you eat better, sleep better, and you keep going and you never see no fucking results. Well, it's because you eat bad, you're stressed out, all those things, but also your hormones are dropping. I don't care if everything is perfect in your life and you go to the gym and you still can't find results, it's because your hormones are dropping. So you supposed to go to a doctor, an endocrine doctor, and say, hey, can you check my testosterone levels? Because if you go to a regular doctor, that shit ain't gonna happen. They're gonna look at you and say, what are you, 50, 60 years old? Oh, from 1 to 100, you right about here at 60. Oh, you good. This is where you're supposed to be at 60. Nigga, I don't want to be there at 60. What the fuck is wrong with you? I want to be feeling like I'm in my 40s or 30s. So what they do, you go to the endocrine doctor, they check your levels, and they'll say, well, this is what I want you to take. And you supplement. And this is the new generation, nigga. Fuck them jagabats talking about, and all these young dudes. Believe me, that right now, they're in themselves, they feeling themselves, right? But it's going to be a time in the age you're going to wonder why they hit a plateau. Now, everybody that works out when they're young, it's not going to feel the same when they in their 60s and 80s, even though if they worked out a lot. But there's always special people out there that do, okay? And if you see those special people on YouTube, they're 1%, okay? So when you see an 80-year-old doing shit, right? Hey, you don't know if he's taking TRT. He could just be one of those dudes, right? Or a 70-year-old or 60-year-old doing shit. He could just be one of those dudes, man. But then your mind gets twisted and feel like, damn, why he's doing it and I can't do it. Well, you're not that 1%. Just like bodybuilders. That 1% of bodybuilders have great genetics. And then on top of that, they take super doses of fucking testosterone. And on top of testosterone, they take steroids. Because you cannot take steroids unless you take synthetic testosterone. And then you just got simple people out here that's just taking TRT. Those are low doses. Just to maintain. And be happy. Right? And go to the gym and have a hard dick. But if you're stupid and you're dotish and you don't listen and you just want to hear fluff talk and you ain't gonna know this shit. You ain't gonna know this shit. Read between the lines, my nigga. You're not gonna know this shit. So you can listen to all these niggas about their natural. That's fine. It's great to be natural. I say be natural as far as you can take this shit. Because then when that time come, you could be like, oh, I can have another second life. I'm deficient in testosterone. My endocrine doctors told me, once I take it, I'm back up, my levels are back, and hey, I have a second life. After 60, my dick is still hard, and I'm playing tennis, golf. Mentally I'm there. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you ain't mentally there, and you fogged in the brain and all this fuckery and you can't think, and your dick can't get up, and you're depressed, and you don't know what the fuck you're depressed for, well, what the fuck you going to the gym? When you depressed, let me tell you something. Depression, I went through it at the age of 38 and 39, okay? When you go through depression, everything around you could be right. Everything. And you're fucking crying for no reason. It's hard to explain depression, okay? But when you start feeling these things, you're trying to find ways to figure out what is wrong with me, okay? So let me just get back to this shit with Victor Conte and Errol Spence fans. So when Victor Conte say, listen, I got all this science, I got a dome, right? That fluctuate the air circulation and how much air you could get, right? So you could build up, like you're running against the wind and you're running up a mountain, and I'm restricting air so you could build up lactic acid, right? Or I have these machines where you could sit down and put the sleeves on and on your legs and your arms, and it could circulate the blood within your dome, right? Within your middle of your body, right? And I could give you certain things that you're deficient from, because your blood say you're deficient from iron or B12 or D3, a hormone or iron. You're deficient from it. And I could give you these things so you could have best ability. And if I could help you recover as quickly so you could go back and work out, and then I can help you recover again with the oxygen altitude and circulate more oxygen in your body so it can get to your red blood cells, so it can attach to your red blood cells, right? Plus, taking blood from you, spinning it, separating blood from the plasma, spin it again, put it back in your body, rich plasma. Come on, man. It's so much. It's so much. So, when you do your research and you're trying to look for other alternatives, right? But when the man said, I'm doing bro science, and I know the in and outs, I know EPO, I know HGH. And HGH is another hormone that's in it's a peptide, right? Right? If you take it as a peptide, but it's in your body. And they also, how testosterone is this molecule structure, and they could make synthetic testosterone bioidentical to the body, blah blah blah. But they also could strip the molecule structure and change it by the carbon. It's so many things, man. I don't even want to go into it, right? Because I'm gonna just keep yapping, right? But same thing with HGH. They could call this one called HGH fragment 141, where they take that part of the molecule, whatever, and that's to lose fat. And then they got insulin growth factor, right? That's one thing he was talking about. That's another part from HGH that helps you with your hair, your nails, your skin, and all this stuff, and helps you recover also. But it helps you with your red blood cells. Like I said, I think it's 120 days. Your red blood cells rejuvenate or whatever, and you have old red blood cells to new blood cells, and you get the old blood cells out, you get new blood cells. And when you give blood, you get new blood cells too, right? When your body starts to push, So when you're doing these exercises, he's restricting your air, he's building up lactic acid, he's pushing your body to give yourself growth hormone, your own growth hormone, to produce faster, and your testosterone levels to produce faster because of certain exercises, and recovery and rebuilding, because recovery is everything. So these things you got to take, you got to take this bro science and the athletic science and understand it's not just working out, running up a hill to fetch a pail of water. It ain't none of that shit. It's more than that. If you want to advance in your sport, they do it for football, they do it for rugby, they do it for everything, man. They do it for everything. So when boxing is dumb to this shit, or they have somebody, they coaches or they trainers are not up on this because they old jagabats, or they just do everything old school and they don't know the new science. Now y'all want to use the excuse that this is the reason why. What the fuck told that nigga to go up that hill like that? That tells you he's seeing whoever told him that shit. And if he did it on his own, oh well. Man, come on, man. When people say, oh, vitamin D. No, it's a hormone. Most of y'all niggas don't even know what the fuck you're taking, right? And say, I don't take hormones. Your father takes a hormone. My father takes a hormone. He's diabetic. He takes insulin. Nigga, if I take synthetic insulin, listen, if I could manipulate my hormones and take synthetic insulin or take synthetic testosterone, and I take super doses, I could do whatever I want to do and look different every time I go in the gym, right? That's a basic thing. That's a basic thing. If I'm taking HGH, insulin, T3, all these things are bioidentical, and that's why it's hard to detect these things. And that's why when Victor Conte say, listen, I'm not on that side no more. I don't bet nothing fit on anything on that side. I did that side, but I'm on this side and I'm making more money, and I'm showing people that I'm doing the right thing, and I'm a big advocate for testing. Regardless, no matter what, nothing is 100 proof, but I believe this man. Once I didn't believe in him, but I'm giving him a second chance, and I believe in him. I do. I believe in him, right? So this was a big thing I had with Marty, because, well, I'm going to do part 6 with Marty, right? But I don't have a big beef for Marty. You know what I'm saying? He let me come back on his channel, and he know that I didn't diss him. Or, I mean, not diss. I didn't disrespect him. If you look at the other, if he has a thing of diss and disrespect, I don't know, right? But, you know, the big thing is that his thing is that he's saying he doesn't know snack products work. That's why I'm glad the man got on his channel and he did what he had to do. And I hope this shit is over, because now I'm saying right now, these Errol Spence fans, y'all using this too much. Y'all using the man that y'all want to step on. You want to use the excuse for Errol Spence. Listen, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. And watch yourself, man, because y'all Errol sexuals are looking real fucking dotish, yo.